Hey Stillwater, welcome to the Still Connect podcast, a podcast all about Stillwater, Oklahoma. I'm your host, Denver Evans, a born and raised Stillwater local and owner of Stillwater Digital Marketing. Every Wednesday, I share a friendly chat with someone in our community that's helping make Stillwater such a great place. Whether you're a longtime resident or just a visitor, this is your place to plug in, stay inspired, and still connect with the stories that shape our community. And if you ever want to watch these interviews, you can check them out on YouTube. And I'm here today with Haydon Harris with Daddy-O's Music and The Herd. How are you?
What's up, dude?
So telling everyone just a little bit about yourself. You work here at Daddy-O's.
Yeah. I started here at Daddy-O's about 10 years ago. Excuse me. And it was just kind of by chance. The old owner, Mike Shannon, I'd been coming in a lot and started playing out, having some gigs. Working in Louie's kitchen at the time. I was just bopping through here. And Mike was needing a new manager. And I remember this, I just had got a promotion and was kind of working my way to maybe be management at Louie's, or that's what I was hoping for. And Mike asked if I would come in and see if I liked doing this. And of course, I was very interested in music. My family come from a long line of musicians. I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And really, initially, I thought I'd only be here like a couple years, but I've been here just over a decade now, and I've got to see not only Daddy-O's change quite a bit, but also watched Stillwater's music scene kind of have the ebb and flow of things. So it's been really rewarding to kind of have a front row ticket to that.
Yeah. So where are you from originally?
I'm from Shattuck, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Out in the armpit, as we call it. Not quite the panhandle. I don't admit to being from the panhandle, but pretty close.
Yeah. Cool. So what brought you here?
School.
Nice.
Yeah.
Graduated from OSU? Or?
I did.
Cool.
I did. I got a degree in hotel restaurant administration 2012, and I really wanted to get into hospitality, mostly restaurants. I did like event planning and different things like that, which has kind of helped with booking gigs and setting up shows and things like that.
Mm-hmm. So, but you got pulled over here and just kind of...
Yeah, I just fell in love with the town. The people, it's just, for me, Shattuck's got about 1,200 people. I graduated with 16 people.
Wow.
And I've never really seen myself as someone that could live in a city. I like visiting, like Oklahoma City, Tulsa, even bigger cities, you know. But I just don't really see myself staying or living in one. Stillwater's the perfect size for me. And the people and just the community itself is just so inviting and welcoming that I just kind of stuck around. I've lived here. I've left and come back a couple times, but it keeps dragging me back in.
What keeps dragging you back?
The people, the familiarity. You know, it's you know, if I go out, I go downtown or wherever, I always run into some people I know. And I know I can always have a good conversation no matter where I'm at.
Very cool. So tell us about The Herd.
Yeah, The Herd started 2012, and I actually there was 3 friends of mine that were musicians and came from various backgrounds, and they were getting really into like bluegrass music at the time, and I just so happened to have really been practicing quite a bit, and I learned this old song by Hoagie Carmichael called Down and Out, made famous by Eric Clapton on his Unplugged. And I remember going over their house where they rehearsed, and they were like, wait a second, people don't usually just learn this type of song and that type of style, so you get to come jam with us now. Mm-hmm. So we formed the band, came up with the name at my house, and it was just going to be Buffalo Jones, but I thought it'd be cool to add on the herd and have the play on words. Mm-hmm. So it was Buffalo Jones and the Herd for quite a while, but then we just shortened it to the Herd. Yeah.
Very cool. That's a lot of fun. So you guys play a lot of local gigs?
Yeah, mostly local stuff. Stone Cloud, of course, Stone Cloud is absolutely fantastic. I mean, tons of eclectic blends of local artists and other artists from out of town, and we've been very fortunate to have a little residency there. I think 3 years, and when the weather's nice, we just have our brunch function Sundays from 1 to 3, and it's just always a lot of fun there.
Yeah.
Even yesterday, our show yesterday was incredible.
So this is going to be coming out this Wednesday. So what upcoming gigs do you have?
We'll be at the OSU Botanic Garden Friday, I think June 5th. It might be 6th, one or the other. So that Friday at 5:45, and then another brunch function on that Sunday. We're also playing, it's kind of a semi-private party at Lake McMurtry. This group that we camp with when we go to the Bluegrass Festival up in Winfield, Kansas, they're having what they've dubbed Mick Winfield. So they're going to invite a lot of their people that camp with them from all over and camp out at McMurtry. And we'll be out there just, stomping up a dust cloud if it's not too wet.
Yeah. Well, you'll either be stomping up a dust cloud or stomping in a mud puddle.
One or the other.
So, and you guys are playing Dancing Turtle.
Yes.
Now, aren't you playing, you yourself are playing 2 sets of Dancing Turtle?
I believe that's right. We're gonna do the band on one of the main stages, and then me and Teresa Sorrells are gonna be doing the songwriter stage.
Cool. In the living room?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very cool. Exciting. And then you guys are also going to be playing Block 34 live. I don't know the exact date off the top of my head, so whatever that actually is. But
I want to say
it's like the first or second one, right? So
Yeah.
it's either August 2nd or August 16th.
yeah.
Yeah. Block 34 live is going to be a lot of fun.
It's gonna be wild.
Yeah.
I mean, they've made so much progress so quickly. I mean, who would have thought? And it just every time I go downtown and see it, it's just incredible how much progress they've made in such a little time.
And all of the events are scheduled, and they're on their website, block34live.com. So definitely go check that out, see what all there's going to be. Each week is going to be a different theme, which is going to be awesome. Personally, I'm excited for Halfway to St. Patty's. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
going to be like an all-day Celtic Fest kind of thing.
Man.
But definitely the one that's like Bluegrass Americana is going to be a ton of fun.
I'm excited for all that, especially after last night. Went out to the cookout with the Waxy Dargles.
Oh, yeah, Waxy Dargles. Yeah, they're going to be
man.
halfway. Yeah.
It just got me wanting to restring and tune up my old great grandfather's tenor banjo. We had a great time. Drank some whiskey, ate some food. Of course, a lot of jamming.
Yeah.
So
Where are they out of?
out of here, Stillwater. Yeah.
Very cool. Yep. They're also going to be a Dancing Turtle for the Distill and Chill. So very fun. So tell me more just about your story and kind of how'd you get into music?
Well, I started playing music when I came up to college, which is kind of funny because I really took for granted. I just thought everybody's dad and granddad played music. My granddad was a fiddle player. My dad's a bass player and a singer. So I grew up around that my whole life. But in high school and growing up, I played sports. So I didn't have a lot of time for music. But when I came up to college, my first college, went to Northwestern Oklahoma State on a golf scholarship. Didn't pan out.
Yeah.
But it was at that point I started playing guitar and writing songs a little bit. I've always really liked writing songs, just even before I think I even played music. I just get a kick out of that. And I started doing that through college, and I never really played out because I was focused on getting through college, and I was kind of worried that if I started playing shows, I wouldn't get through college. I'd switch gears. But once I graduated here in 2012, I started the band, and just been kind of doing that off and on ever since. I got to move back to my hometown for a little bit and play in a family band with my dad, my granddad, a few other people, and it was a lot of fun. It was a memory I'll treasure forever, just because I don't think a lot of people get to say they did that. So, yeah, I love all things music. I like figuring out different instruments, or at least try to figure them out my own way, building a few, putting them back together, restoring. And Daddy-O's has been a great place for me to kind of figure those things out.
Yeah, that's cool. So you said Daddy-O's has had a lot of changes over the 10 years that you've been here. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so the original owner, Mike Shannon, started it in '88, and he retired about 7 years ago and sold it to a guy that used to work for him back in the day from Stillwater, Andrew Wynn. And Andrew is he also owns Guitar House of Tulsa and is really big in the vintage and rare nationally, internationally. I just got to go down to Dallas to the International Guitar Show down there. It was nuts. I didn't know what to expect, but getting there was just mind-blowing because there's all these vendors. I mean, thousands of guitars, if not tens of thousands of guitars from way back in the day to like newer, and people swapping and trading, and it was just mind-boggling.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, when Drew bought this place, we completely stripped it out, renovated it, new floors. I mean, the walls are different, everything. Complete overhaul.
Because this used to be like an amp room, right?
It was.
Yeah.
This was the amp room with the big window here, and it would get hot.
Yeah.
Hot in here. And I used to come down here when Mike was still the owner at night because, I live right across the street.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd be plugging into the amps and playing. And I was doing that one time, and the next day, right when I opened, there was a gal that lived right above here, and she came down, and she was so mad at me because I guess I had been playing too loud. I don't think midnight's too late. But she had a good point.
Maybe
though.
if it's right under your bed, it's too late.
Maybe I wasn't playing the right style of music. I don't know. But, yeah, she ripped me a new one. So I kind of quieted it down a little bit.
Yeah, that's fun. So what else has changed?
That's a good question. I would say with having Guitar House and Drew, we've got a way more inventory than we did. A lot more suppliers. Setting in this room, we've got Taylors, Martins, Gibsons, Alvarez, Seagulls that we've brought back. That was like, I think for a while back in the 2000s, having a Seagull guitar was like a rite of passage for people.
Oh, really?
Stillwater, yeah. And they're great. Those are great
funny.
guitars.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. Quite the collection.
Yeah.
And of course, all the acoustics in here, acoustics out there, all the electrics, ukuleles, mandolins, banjos.
A little bit.
I've seen a lot of ukulele stuff around Stillwater.
Yeah, they have a group called Stillwater Ukulele Association, and they meet up, and it's just a group of people, and they help teach people ukulele that are maybe interested in it, but they also kind of have their own ukulele bands, and they just get together and jam, and we see people come in after like going to one or two of their meetings and come get a ukulele, and then off they go and join or start another ukulele band.
Yeah, that's awesome. So tell me a little bit more about just like the Stillwater music scene. What's it like?
Well, here recently, it's been pretty wild, especially since the boys from Oklahoma came through.
I bet.
And that was, impressive to say the least. That really recharged, I think, a lot of people and even artists, and being able to see the different people coming in that are either visiting to watch the show or performing was just a lot of fun. We went straight from that, and then like a week or two later, it was Calf Fry, which is usually our biggest thing here. And then we had Wyatt Flores play that, Stillwater Cat, that's been coming in here for, I've known him since he was that tall, or maybe that tall, I don't know. So the scene is just, I see people get into it. It's always interesting to see, if I sell somebody like their first guitar, just how they progress and what kind of style of music they get into, and like the type of artists they become. And it makes me feel kind of old, really, but in a good way. And I've seen people start off playing like heavy metal that now are folk musicians, and people that start off as folk musicians, they get up and they play heavier stuff. And it's always, especially because it's a college town, you never know just what kind of person's going to come in here and what their ability levels are going to be. It's always like a revolving door of talent that people will come in here and just sit down, play some of the most crazy stuff, and those people might not even be the people that go play gigs. They just enjoy it because they enjoy doing it. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But then some people just really get out there and get 3 chords, and away they go. And maybe they start getting a lot of spins on Spotify and popularity.
Yeah.
So the only thing I've gathered from all that is just like the old philosopher saying, I think it was Socrates. The only thing I know is I know nothing because I've been surprised so many times by different artists.
Yeah, that's really cool. So would you feel like genre-wise, things are pretty consistent around here? A lot of like country, rock, red dirt,
Well, definitely
kind of in that area?
Yeah, definitely red dirt. There's a lot of that, but also now I'm seeing more and more college bands come out, and there's kind of a resurgence in funk.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen a few funk bands kind of start and get going. Of course, like the indie and heavier stuff. That's out there too. It's I think Stillwater is gaining and opening more venues, especially the Block 34, but also the bait shop down there. Everything, there's becoming more and more places for people to play their style of music, and that's fantastic because the more avenues you have, the more vibrant the music scene is just going to be.
Yeah, very cool. So what kind of music do you like to go see?
A lot. Mostly, I've really enjoyed the Red Dirt stuff recently. Boys from Oklahoma, I got to go 2 nights to that. I was a big fan of Cross Canadian Ragweed back in the day before they split up. Saw them several times at Caf Fry and other various places. That was the first time I saw Turnpike Troubadours, though, and that was fantastic. But I'm here in July. Me and a whole bunch of us are going to go watch Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, and the Mavericks.
Nice. Where's that?
That's in El Reno.
Oh, wow. El Reno. Weird.
At one of the casinos.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember.
I guess that makes sense, yeah.
I can never remember off the top of my head. But yeah, I'm excited to see that. I saw Willie Nelson one time in Enid, and this is probably...
In Enid?
Enid, yeah, at the Stride Center. Huh. And at that point, he was still in his late 80s, and I've listened to Willie Nelson my whole life. My folks are huge Willie Nelson fans. My mom likes to paint, and she mostly paints pictures of Willie Nelson.
That's awesome.
But what I thought was so crazy was every song he would take a lead, and he would pick his guitar, legendary guitar Trigger, with that hole worn in there.
Yep.
And he would take a solo and just rip it. He would take off a bandana, throw it into the crowd. And then it was like he disappeared into the dark in the back. Somebody else would take a lead. He'd reappear with another bandana. And the next song, it would just repeat that cycle again. It's like, what? Is this a magic trick? What is going on?
That's awesome. That's very cool. So what would your dream show be? If you could see any band, any combination of lineup?
Dead or Alive?
Yeah, of course.
I would totally go watch Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, him and Led Zeppelin. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
And of course, I like folk and Americana stuff too. That would be interesting. But I think just like the overall power in the music of Hendrix and Zeppelin in their prime would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
I'd probably like to just go check out Woody Guthrie too.
Oh,
Just
absolutely.
to throw a curveball in.
Yeah. So, do you like the style of individual concert or festival more? From an attendee and a musician perspective.
I think for both, I like more intimate settings, smaller, people engaged. I've always just liked that, and not maybe like a huge crowd, but a decent listening room.
Yeah.
Or like the Tower Theater. That's a good one. Yeah, that's something like that. That's my speed for performing and going to shows.
What has been your favorite individual experience performing in Stillwater?
Well, just right now, I just can't really say enough about Stone Cloud. That place just makes you feel at home. And what's so great about it is we have our regular people that come out all the time, and we're very fortunate. They let us. We don't even plug in a PA. About a year ago, of course about a year ago at this time, there was a thunderstorm, and we started at 1 p.m., and it was raining pretty hard at about noon. And we're there, and we're like, we don't know if we can go set up the PA. It's raining, it's wet out there. And there wasn't a lot of people there at the time, so we're kind of like scratching our heads, like, well, what can we do? I mean, we kind of made the decision then, like, well, since there's not a lot of people here, we'll play just under the porch, under the awning. We won't plug in. we'll see how that goes. So I remember we just kind of get our instruments ready, and we sometimes start with the set break. So there was two ladies out there just having a pint, not real interested in the music, and we just start kicking around playing songs, and about 1:15 rolls in. Everybody floods in. So then we have like a pretty big crowd, and we're like, well, we're not plugged in, so we're getting on tables and we're just walking around and doing all that stuff. And it was great. People loved it. And so that's just been our formula since for that particular gig. Now, if we play like a evening gig there on like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we'll plug in and play that.
Right.
And it's just different enough, I think, that kind of keeps people interested.
Yeah. It's really cool. So I imagine that you guys have a lot of like friends, of course. You, I'm sure, know a ton of other musicians in town just from working here, but who are some of the other bands that you guys play with often or like to play with?
What we really like to do, especially for the brunch function, is just bring other musicians in, just bring an instrument. Yesterday, for example, we played with our old friend Dan Siebert. He came in and sat in with us. We played with a new friend of ours, Noah Woodward. He came in, picked some songs, sang a few songs. Really getting in, especially at that cookout at Waxy Dargles. Would love to collaborate with them more in some way or another. Might have to learn some Irish reels.
There you go.
Or anything like I can dance a jig. I can play one maybe a little bit too.
It's not too much of a stretch from bluegrass to.
They're all cut from the same cloth a little bit.
Yeah.
But just anybody anybody that's rolling through town that we know. Of course, Dan's good friends with Chuck Dunlap, and when Chuck's in town, of course we get and we usually try to act as his backing band, which reminds me, I think that's what we're doing for Dancing Turtle as well. Will be Chuck's backing band.
Oh, nice. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to play in Family Jam?
I would like to get that started off.
I feel like everybody, isn't that kind of the whole point of Family Jam is just kind of like.
I would like to get all that. Oh, you're talking about for the Dancing Turtle.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we were doing our Wednesday night family jams.
Oh, okay.
Over in my big room. But I think now the talks are going to make it kind of move locations from maybe week to week or every other week. I think that would be fantastic.
So what is that?
That is, the idea comes from Tuesday Night Music Club, which used to be held at this big house in Cushing. Rick Riley and DJ Newberry, they would just invite all their friends, and a lot of their friends are musicians, and people would just come together and trade songs. That's where I met Nick Gedra for the first time, and a lot of other people. And it was just one of those things where like there's no judgment. People are just there singing songs, whether it be just individually or having people fill in and take leads, and that's kind of where we got the format for that. And we were doing that last year until it got too hot. Then it got too cold. And then I just got lazy and didn't clean the big room for months. And now that's scattered with car parts because me and Teresa are taking apart my old hot rod Buick.
Oh, yeah.
And trying to rebuild the interior of that.
That's fun.
But that I find, in that type of setting, I think nothing really helps you improve more as a musician than to just get up in a song swap circle and sing your song, take your leads, play songs with other people, because it just kind of makes you focus in and find the things that you can find to kind of add to somebody else's song. And that just opens up a lot of different creativity. And it's just a lot of fun, especially when you can just get together and, drink a little, eat a little, and jam a little.
Yeah. Sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if somebody was listening to this and they were like, man, I want to find a group like that to play with, how would they go about finding those people? Or maybe they're an artist who wants to do like an open mic. What are some good places around town for those kinds of just getting into the music scene?
I know right now at Bad Brad's, they do they've got a really good open mic hosted out there by Dylan Moss. And they bring, I think there's always some other songwriters that go out and play. I think that's on Thursdays, if I remember correctly. Other ways to go about doing that, I would say put it out there on social media. We have a bulletin board still here that people actually use.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They put their info on there. But I always recommend to people that say they're looking for somebody, or if they're looking for a band or anybody to jam, just have kind of what you do on social media and some videos. That way people kind of have an idea of, maybe your ability or your style, or it just makes it much easier for people to kind of fill you out.
Get a little preview, so it's not like, oh, we play completely different things.
For sure.
Yeah.
Which can lead to really cool stuff.
Yeah.
But for the most part, our old bulletin board, there's still people that check it pretty regularly.
Yeah. Isn't there some kind of event at the community center too? It's kind of a
Troubadour Thursdays. I think that's the first Thursday each month.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, and that's a great place to do that as well. Other open mics, I don't know. I don't think Willie's is doing anything right now. I could be wrong. They got one at the Other Side Tavern. I can't remember exactly what day that is. Maybe Mondays. But they come and they go. Having a good host helps out a lot, and the ones that are going on right now have good hosts. So that just kind of helps keep things rolling.
Mm-hmm.
So
very cool. So final thoughts on Stillwater? What's it like?
I feel like it's buzzing. I feel really good about it. I think we're on the right track for music, just our community in general, especially after all the fires. And people were really coming together to help out their neighbors, and their friends, and their family. And that's why I'm really proud to call this place home,
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks, man.
Thanks, guys, for listening to the Still Connect podcast. And if you loved today's episode, don't forget to follow the podcast on social as well, and to share the podcast with all of your Stillwater friends. If you believe in building community through these conversations, consider supporting the podcast on Patreon, where, for less than the price of a cup of coffee, you can get early access to episodes, a peek behind the curtain at the podcast making process, and a shout out on an episode. With a higher contribution, you can do things like submit questions for upcoming guests, make special requests for the show, get access to online Q&As, and even be on the podcast for an interview segment. No matter what your capacity for supporting the podcast is, every little bit helps grow this amazing community. And we all need community. So even when life gets busy, make sure you still connect.